Hello everyone. See, this video we will start the next chapter, that is time domain analysis. Time domain analysis. So in that there are some theory part and there is some numerical part. So theory part is regarding how to find or equation for steady state error, and there is a numerical based on steady state error. So let's start with the first type or first question for time domain analysis. So in that there are classification or how many types are available. So classification of time domain analysis. So basically time domain analysis divided into two part. First part is a transient response. This is the responses. Okay, so first classification of time response, just write down full time response. So before start, what is the response? What is meaning by response? Response means what? Suppose this is the graph. Okay, suppose we are taking here on x-axis we are taking time, and on y-axis we are taking suppose we are taking amplitude. Okay, see, some at some curve, see, time response is very small like this. As time increases, output increases very little. See, as time increases, output increases, but increasing ratio is very small. See, increasing ratio is very small, right? So likewise, this is the first curve. So we call this a response of amplitude is very less or very small. Or second curve we can write down, draw like this. See, this is again second curve. Okay, in this curve, see, the response is very high. At small change of time, response increases more. At small change of time, response increases more. At small change of time, response increases more, likewise. So here time and amplitude we are putting together on the graph, and just observe the response curve. Response curve nature is changing high or changing low. Okay, so according to that we called as a response of any time domain signal. Okay, so according to that, what are the classifications are available? Classification of time response. Basically time response divided into two part. First part is transient response. First part is transient response, and second one is a steady state response. See exactly what is difference between transient response and steady state response. So definition is part of time response, a part of time response which is goes to zero, after some time or after large time it goes zero. When after large time it goes zero, such a response is called as a transient response. Like this, see, this is time, okay, and this is amplitude. Okay, this is amplitude. Okay, see here, as time increasing, the output is stable only. After some time it goes reducing and towards the zero. After some time, like suppose this is 10 minutes, this is 20 minutes, then 50 minutes, then 100 minutes, likewise. After long time, after long period of time, it goes zero, it goes towards zero. Such a response is called as a transient response. After long time, after a period of time, the amplitude of the system is goes zero. Okay, or we call as a part of response. It is called as a part of response. Okay, it may be amplitude, it may be any parameter, physical parameter, right? So this parameter is going to zero. Such a response is called as a time response. The example of this, let's take battery. This is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, right? See, when we connect battery at anywhere, suppose we are taking this battery of mobile. Okay, so mobile battery, suppose this is mobile and same battery we use in the mobile, right? See, the mobile battery is reducing their power, reducing their charging slowly, very slowly. See, if our mobile charging is 90%, right, is go reducing slowly up to zero. After some time, after maybe 2 days, after maybe 1 day, it becomes 0%, right? That means what? The battery is completely discharged. See, so battery voltage is comes towards the zero because of after long time it comes towards the zero. That's why it is called as a transient response. Okay. Second one is a second classification of time response is steady state response. Steady state response. Steady state response. Okay, what is that steady state response? This, what is the definition of steady state response? See here, t is 0, t is 0, right? Here t is infinity, t is infinity, right? Why it is infinity? See, the definition of this steady state response is the part of response that remain even after. That means here the part of response is remain as it is, right? Even after a transient have died out is said to be steady state response. That means what is the definition? The part of response, suppose the part of response is as it is, no change, as it is, no change even after the time maybe collapse or transient have died, even after that part of response is as it is, no change. So such a type of response is called as a steady state response. Just see the definition of steady graph. According to graph, just observe it. What is the steady state response? Let's take time on x-axis, and suppose we are taking amplitude on y-axis. See, we are starting with the 0. See it going toward increasing, right? And it steadily going a long time, right? See, this part of the response is steady here, no change. It is called as a steady, no change. After a long time, it is never change, right? Initially, at the beginning only, that particular time, up to particular time, it going to changing. Once it's stable, it continuously stable. There is a no change, right? So such a response is called as a steady state response. Okay, like see, this is the our discharging of battery, right? We have charged battery up to 90%, and as we use our mobile, it comes towards the 0%, right? Because it is discharging of battery. Now see, charging of battery. Suppose this is your mobile, and this mobile is completely down, or it is up to 10%. When we charge the mobile, the charging store in the battery, and battery is going to increase their storage, right? So like 10% to 20% to 30%, likewise it's going to increase, right? Once, like let's see, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, up to 100%. Once it reaches toward the 100%, it continuously 100% only. It is never change more or less. When we remove this charging, now it is going to discharging, but up to charging level, it is stable. It never go beyond the limit. Because because of this parameter, there is a steady output. After a long time. That's why it is called as a steady state system. Now tell me why it is called as a t is equal to infinity. See, that steady state is infinity level. There is a no time limit. It continuously infinity, right? That's why we call it the t is equal to infinity here. So these are the two classification of time response. Let's move on the next question. System time response. System time response. Okay, this is the next question. So this is the graph where we can show all the parameters of system time response. So this is the blue color is indicated by the this curve is indicated by the blue color, where we can see all the parameters of response time. Okay, I'm just taking everything. Okay, color I want red. Okay, see, this is this curve. It is starting with the 0 point, it goes increasing up to maximum level. This is the maximum level, right? Again it comes towards the minimum level, again maximum level, again minimum level, again this like this, and it is, as we go away, it is, after some time it becomes stable. Okay, so this is called as a system time response. Okay, in that, see, there are four important parameters. First parameter is the delay time. Which is indicated by TD. See, this is from 0 point up to this point is called as the delay point. Delay point means what? See, what is this position? This position is 0.50. So this is delay time position. So what is the delay time? See, this initial curve is called as the delay time. What is the definition of delay time? See, delay time is a time required for the response to reach up to 50%. 0.50 means what? When we take percentage, it becomes 50%, right? 50%. That means, suppose it is 100%. This is the 100%, right? And this is the 0. Right? So middle position is called as the 50%. So when the curve is starting from 0 position and it reach up to the 50% position, this is the 50% position, right? When it reach up to the 50% position, to time required to reach the 50% position, that time required is called as the delay time. Is it clear? Time required to reach a curve up to 50% called as a delay time. Okay, next parameter, rise time. See, rise time is indicated from this point to this point. Okay, again we know that how to convert in percentage. See, this is the 0.1. 0.1 means what? 10%, right? That means rise time, according to you, what is the rise time? See, rise time means 10% to what? This is a 90%, right? This is the 90%, right? 0.9, that means it is 90%. Okay, so according to me, what is the rise time? Time between 10% to 90%. Just see what is the definition. It is time required for response to rise from 10% to 90%, right? Again, our conclusion is same. Time required for the response rise from 10% point to 90% point. So this time requirement is called as a rise time. Okay, so delay time and rise time. Delay time means 0 to 50%, rise time means 10% to 90%, right? Next parameter is the peak time, which is indicated here. See, peak time is here, right? So this is the peak time. Maximum point is called as a peak time, right? Or we call it as a max time, right? Peak time means what? A time, I think I'm just indicating here, they are not mentioned in the graph, so I'm just mentioning here from 0, this is called as a peak time TP. Okay, so 0 to maximum amplitude of curve, maximum, this is the maximum amplitude, right? This is little bit less, this is again little bit less, but this is the maximum amplitude. See, when we take projection, this is the maximum amplitude, right? This is the maximum amplitude. So what is the peak time? The peak time is the time required for the response to reach the first peak of the time response. This is the first peak. See, this is the first peak. So what is the peak time? Time required to the curve to reach up to the first peak. This is the first peak. So that time is called as the peak time. So from zero to this point is called as the peak point. Okay, from 0 it curve goes towards the maximum first peak, that's why it is called the peak time, right? And last point is the maximum overshoot. So maximum overshoot, or we call it as a settling time. Okay, better to take settling time only. See, what is the settling time? Settling time means what? See, from 0 up to what? This is what point? See, just take it. What is this point? This point is 0.95. 0.95. That means time required for the response to reach 0 to 90%. 0 to 95%. Sorry, 0 to 95%. This is the 95%, right? This is the 95%. Okay, and this is the 0%. So time required for response to reach up to 95% of the amplitude. So that time is called as the settling time. Okay, see, in the here we seen a 4 parameter. First parameter is the delay time, second parameter is the rise time, third parameter is the peak time, fourth parameter is settling time. One more parameter is given in your PDF, that is maximum overshoot. What is the maximum overshoot? The ratio of maximum value of step excited output to the final output is called as a overshoot of the system. The percentage overshoot of the system is defined as a, see, what is that? I'm just writing here. Okay, what is the maximum overshoot? Maximum overshoot. Maximum overshoot. So what is the maximum overshoot? Maximum overshoot is the ratio between maximum value of step excited to the final value, okay. So maximum value, ratio of maximum value to final value is called as a maximum overshoot. So this is the fifth parameter. So here in this question we will see the 5 parameter. First parameter is the delay time. Just try to remember delay time. What is the delay time? Delay time is the time required for the response to come up to 50%, of final value. 50% of final value is called as the delay time. Second parameter is the rise time. What is the rise time? A time required for the response to reach from 10% to 90% of final value is called as the rise time. Third parameter is the peak time. Peak time means what? A time required for the response to reach up to a maximum or first peak of the response is called as a peak time. And fourth parameter is a settling time. Settling time means what? 0 to 95%, okay. And maximum overshoot, it is in front of you. So these 5 parameters, and this question is again important one. Just try to remember everything. 5 parameters: delay time, rise time, peak time, settling time, and maximum overshoot. So these are the 5 parameters, are very much important. And again one more parameter is there called as a steady state error. Steady state error, okay. So steady state error is a important one. It is indicated by ESS. What is the steady state error? Step excitation, a difference between desired output and final value of any system is called as a steady state error. So see, desire, that means, suppose desire means what? Suppose we want a 90% output, right? But actually when we give the input we get only 85% output, right? So what is the difference? We want 90%, okay, ideal value is 90%, right? But we get only 85%. So difference between desired value and final value is called as a steady state error. So error here, error is a 5%, okay. Likewise, see, somewhere suppose we are purchasing the bike. When we purchase the bike, that time only the shopkeeper says us the average of bike is maybe 35 km/h. They says us 35 kilometer per hour, but actually when we use bike, that time we get to know that bike never give you 35 kilometer per hour, it gives only 30 kilometer per hour because of any reason, right? So because of any reason it gives only 30 kilometer per hour. So ideal value of average of bike is 35, right? But when we use that bike, it gives only 30 kilometer per hour. So difference between both is called as a ESS, called as a steady state error, or steady state error, or steady state difference, right? So that is nothing but steady state error. So what is the steady state error? Steady state error is the difference between desired value. What is the desired value here? 35 is the desired value, expected value, right? But actually what is the final value? 30 kilometer per hour only. So difference between desired value and desired value, that means expected value, and real value, or we call it as the final value, the difference between both is called as a steady state error. Okay, so these are the 6 parameters we use in the response or time response system. Okay, in next video we will see the analysis and some basic numerical based on the steady state error. Okay, again, if you have any doubt regarding this video, regarding any topic, just take a screenshot and send it to me. I will provide you a solution on that. Thank you.